Those recordings.
We are going
This should
live.
be interesting.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the PodBrother at the Comedy Chateau podcast. I'm the PodBrother. I don't know who these knuckleheads are, but I just snatched them out of the showroom. And I'm having them on my podcast right now. So this is a new series that we're doing at the Comedy Chateau, where we're going to highlight comedians, some of the regulars that come down and kick it, you know, with those yucks, foot in bucks. What you guys getting them big bucks, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Very wealthy. Off of this.
All right. So from left to right, right to left, I don't know. You figure that shit out. We got Albert, we got Shaq Rowe, and we got Marco. I'm the PodBrother. I got my ref on because I did other podcasts earlier. I'm Ref Kimbrough on that one. So I'm gonna be schizophrenic. I'm going to be the PodBrother and Ref Kimbrough. So you guys can, you know.
Oh, is that why you're wearing that shirt?
Yeah, that's why I got the shirt.
You don't
on.
work at Foot Locker.
I don't work at Foot Locker.
Okay.
I've stole some shoes from Foot Locker.
Haven't we all stole shoes from Foot Locker?
At least told me he was giving back to the community, man. I told him he was roughing Pee Wee games.
I had a best friend who worked at Foot Locker and he stole shoes for a bunch of girls. We called him Woogie from like that Something About Mary.
Yeah, that's
It's
funny.
crazy.
He
That's
still known
funny.
as Woogie.
Yeah, but I'll do
20-something
it.
years old.
Man, that's why I'm doing shit right
Yeah.
there.
That's right.
Stealing shoes to get pussy. That's
So
He didn't get any pussy from it. He's so fat.
goddamn pussy.
so fat dudes can get some pussy. You know, it's just-
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it. Ralphie May, he didn't do too bad.
Yeah.
Ralphie May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go with Albert.
Yeah.
So you've been in the game a long time, man. You long in the tooth in this game. How long you been doing stand-up?
Well, you know, you mentioned one of my old friends.
Pull
from
that mic a
Houston.
little bit closer.
You mentioned one of my old friends from Houston. We used to do the road together, Ralphie May, back in the late 80s, early 90s, before he became big and before I became the super funny guy that I am now.
You super funny.
Super funny. So yeah, I've been doing it. I've been on, my first stage was in Houston, Texas. It was in 1988.
So that was a laugh stop, right?
That was the last stop. Yes.
Yeah, I worked that club. I know that club.
Yeah. So that was a great room.
It was.
Yeah, it was always packed. The open mics were like, you couldn't get in them. You had to fight your way through the crowd to get into the club. And then you didn't know if you were going to go up. You had to call the day before. So it was pretty much like it is right now. I mean, you got 1,000 comics for every one spot. So it really hasn't changed at all.
So what excites you about the Comedy Chateau? You here every night, you're doing spots, you're funny, you're at the door, you're personable, everyone loves you. Like what's your niche in the Comedy Chateau? Where do you fit in?
I was trying to think of something funny, but I can't. Think of anything. What I like about the Comedy Chateau is I like the stages. I like the way the rooms are set up. There are basically no bad seats. You know everyone is going to see you. You know everyone is going to hear you. The people who run the club are pretty easy to get along with. Since I'm here all the time, I really don't have to do the bringer stuff. And I get stage time every night. So I'm on stage. I'm going on stage here in 4 or 5 comics. I don't know. I'll be up to 5-6 minutes. I was on stage earlier tonight because I host all of the open mics. So I do between 5 and 10, 4 nights a week in the open mic. And then I do the shows, usually, 5 to 7. So I would say in a week, I do about an hour.
Okay, that's good.
Which,
That's
keeps
a
me
lot
on
of
my
stage
toes. That's a
time.
lot of stage.
You can build
Yeah.
a good solid tour act if you're getting on,
Yeah.
where you can do an hour a week.
Yeah.
If you patch it all together, that's how you can develop a lot quicker.
You get a really good act that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends. I worked at the Comedy Store La Jolla for 7 years before I came here.
I've done that club too.
So
Yeah.
I've got lots of friends from that club who are
Right.
now in positions around the city in various, like the Comedy Store, the Improv. I don't know who that is, but they need to shut up. It's gonna be interrupting me in the middle of my
Interrupting
set, buddy.
Yeah.
That shit.
Turn
I
your
thought I
phones
was
off.
just high.
Oh yeah, that was my phone. My bad.
So what I'm saying is that I've got a lot of connections in all the clubs because I work with those guys, and it keeps me busy.
Who's some of your favorite comics? I know, there's like famous people that influence, but a lot of the people that I like, people don't even know.
I know. I'm like that too.
Yeah, it's like they say, "Who's your favorite comic?" I'm listening to all these people. Like, I don't know who the hell they are. Oh yeah, that's right. They ain't famous yet.
Yeah, when I list, well, most people know Leslie Jones.
Right.
So Big Les, everyone knows that. She's one of my favorites. But if I say Ian Edwards, or if I say Eric Griffin, or Eleanor Corrigan, or Sarah Tiana, Abby Lederman, Brian Moses, Jamar Neighbors. I could just go on and on.
Yeah.
Start listening to those people. People don't know who they are.
Right.
These people are just right on the bottom of breaking out. And when they do, they'll be huge.
Jamar,
right?
That's the only one I know off the list.
Jamar, and Jamar is a killer. Jamar is a killer. That guy's a stone cold. I don't see Gerard Carmichael anymore. I don't know what happened to him because he and Jamar used to be so tight.
Yeah.
And I know Jamar wrote the movie, so maybe he's busy writing. I guess I don't know. But,
so what advice would you give young comics trying to get into the game, even comics that have that 5-year in that feel they know a little something? Because those are sometimes the 5-year-olds. They're the fucking assholes.
They're the worst ones.
They're the worst ones.
They're the worst
They
ones.
picked up 5 years of bad habits.
Yes.
They think they know a few people. They've been on a few states. They got a few laughs here and there. And so now
that's him.
they coming in. They their chest is out. The balls are swinging.
Yeah, I know, man.
What tips would you give?
When I was 5 years into it, clubs were open Tuesday through Sunday. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you did 2 shows each day. And comics weren't different then than they are now. When I was 5 years old, I into it. I thought I knew, the whole game. Thought I was funny. I didn't really start writing good jokes until I was like 7 or 8, maybe 10 years into the game.
Yeah.
I still take writing classes because, it just keeps getting better and better the more you study.
You can never take enough writing classes.
You really can't.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a different view of it. Young comics, though, the ones that really make me laugh are the ones who won't take a class because they believe that comedy can't be taught or learned. So those people I have are the ones who won't do open mic.
Right.
I'm not wasting my time with an open mic in front of comics. I'm like, well, some of the greats, that's how they develop. You mentioned Ralphie May. Ralphie used to be in those open mics every day.
You open the refrigerator door when the light comes on. It's showtime, man.
Yes.
I'm doing material to the fucking vegetables.
Exactly. The good thing is my opening 5 minutes that I use today, and I don't use it all the time because I'm sick of it, but I wrote that 30 years ago. And that shit still works.
Yeah.
My name is Anal, blah, blah, blah.
I got some timeless stuff. My very first joke, I can still do. It still works.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So it's like when you get the good stuff, it stays good.
Nice. Shaq.
What's
my man.
Shaq, man.
What's going on? What's happening?
So, so they were pointing at you when we were talking about the 5 year. So let me guess, you've been doing this 5 years?
Nah, I'll say 5.5.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he wanted those.
Yeah, that half makes the difference.
He like a 5-year-old. He like, no.
Ladies,
I'm not 5.
whenever he's telling you statistics about size, just take it with a grain of salt.
That half inch counts.
Yeah, he round up. Yeah, he's a rounder up.
Right.
We looking like you damn near could be my grandfather. The 88 circuit. I need to
bring that mic closer, because
I need to sit down with you and get some stories, because you said you were doing the 88 circuit.
Yeah.
And I don't even think my dad was even settled enough to even fuck and stay somewhere to have a kid. I was born in 94.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So I'm like, damn, there's a whole bunch of shit I don't know.
It's always good to gravitate to like an older comic that's been around, and you can pick up some real nuggets.
Yeah.
When you do that. I mean, when I was in the game I started like in '84. And the first thing I did was hung out with the headliners because I wanted to just study them, learn them. And I went home and I watched comics on TV. And back then, you might notice there was only like 4 TV stations: NBC, CBS, ABC, and then Public.
Right.
These were all free
PBS.
networks. And then out of nowhere, cable TV was invented.
Right.
And the first channel was A&E, and they had Evening at the Improv. And so you could see like live comics on a stage under lights with the audience doing jokes and laughing. And I was like, you only saw that on Johnny Carson. And the comics were famous. You didn't see people you didn't know that was actually doing stand-up and that weren't on TV at all, that were actually funny.
Right.
And so I was glued to that show, and that became a religion. And I would just be cracking on people before the show started. And then my friends were like, hey man, you funny as those guys. You funnier than a lot of those guys. You should go for this.
See? Yeah.
And my girlfriend, who became my wife, she scheduled an open mic for me at the Comedy Cottage in the Rosemont Horizon. And I didn't even know about it. She invited all our friends, about 50 people. And then she told me, and I was like, oh snap, I'm funny like at a party, but I ain't like funny like these dudes. She's like, no, you do it. So in a panic, I wrote 6 minutes, and I just pulled stuff that I knew I got laughs from. And being at parties and family reunions, and just making fun of my teacher and my parents and my peep. And I actually did well. My first time up, I got laughs like every 20 to 30 seconds.
There you go.
For 6 minutes.
And
the owner's like, how long you been doing this? I'm like, this was my first night. He goes, you know what? You come back next week. You always have a spot. And I came back every week.
And what club was that?
This was the Comedy Cottage at the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago.
In Chicago. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. From Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah. And I just been jonesing for stage time ever since, because that's where the true workout ground for leveling up.
Right.
The more stage time you can get.
The more stage time you can get, the better. I mean, it's always better to just sit there and tinker at your craft, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Whatever you're doing, but tinkering at your craft is part of it.
Yep.
It's a huge part of it. And even in my short time doing this, I know that in the time span when I originally began, and I was just like, oh, I'm a funny guy, and let me just spitball, and not really like giving that much I guess respect to the game in general. And then the difference in the situation now that I'm sitting down and really dissecting shit and trying to be a scientist, because I look like I should know formulas and shit. You know what I mean?
You look like a professor.
I made up the Pythagorean theorem.
He is Pythagorean.
I'm Pythagoras.
He said
Pythagoras. You know I got a speech impediment. You cooking on the special? Oh, we know this guy. But now sitting down and really like dissecting jokes, and I've taken a couple workshops, and of course I'm going to take more, because that's just how you're gonna be able to make this shit happen. I feel like it's an easier way to make this situation a dream. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like I feel like with guys like Albert and all the people that I've been meeting along this journey that have been cool, like all the older cats that I've met, I've been blessed, to the fact that I've been like, yeah, I kind of like, I don't know, motherfuckers seem to just like me sometimes, and it helps. Like a bud is a huge thing,
right?
And that's something that everybody can be good at. It's easy for individuals to make yourself like a cool motherfucker. Just don't come around and be a dickhead.
Right.
You know what I mean? And motherfuckers will try to help you.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I noticed.
And
cool.
you have a very unique comedic look. You have a very original comedy look.
Like sexy Samuel Jackson.
That's like
Yeah,
You didn't say all that.
Yeah.
You said you got a good look.
I wouldn't say sexy Samuel Jackson.
He's like
I would say more like short bus Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, there you go.
I was gonna say the same thing, like a little scotch or something.
Yeah, right.
I'm a little up there, but I'm a little down here.
Questionable.
Questionable to say the least.
Yeah, but you know, when you discover your voice and then you discover your point of view and your perspective, and then you find in your own comedy host, which is your body and face, that you can settle into a comfortable character that can deliver all this other stuff you're trying to discover. That's also when it gets fun.
You got dig. You got dig and some shit.
Yeah,
It seems that way.
So what advice would you have for people trying to get into this game? And why do you come to the Comedy Chateau? What do you like about the Comedy Chateau?
The Comedy Chateau, first and foremost, I love the fact that they don't charge comedians for an open mic. Let me put that on the table first.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Let me lay that right there.
Right.
Because as a guy who's taking his own savings and put into place his own little tour, it gets deep when you go somewhere and you're on a circuit and 5 days a week. I mean, 5 days I can't even talk. 5 times a day. There we go.
Right.
5 times a day, you're paying that $5 to $10, and it adds up if you want to do comedy every day and get your practice and get your chops in. So that's huge. You know what I mean? In the industry right now, because it's fucking tough. You know what I mean? Like comedy had taken a hard hit during the pandemic. So with that in place, it helps a lot of people, especially me. You know what I mean? At the time that I came through, it helped me out a lot, not having to pay over here.
Right.
He doesn't have $5.
I do not. I literally am home adjacent. I'm a real comedian. I'm like, you're not a real comedian if you haven't been homeless.
He has $4.50, honestly. I think he's got $4.50.
Oh, I was gonna say $450. What the fuck did you send me to my Venmo?
$4.50.
No, but yeah,
I mean, he does round up. So
I'm a rounder-upper, baby. I will never tell you
7.5 or whatever the fuck you said.
I know what's underneath, man. But I would say to people trying to get into it, you know, do the same exact thing that I did. Sit at home and like beat off to the point that you're bored and you need something better to do. You know what I mean? You need something better to do. But chase your comedy.
When you get tired of spanking a monkey, you know what? I'm gonna try that open mic because I'm bored with my nuts.
I still haven't found that place though. Like I'm still enjoying it.
You're still
literally like if it's a dream.
You're still 50-50 on the masturbation and the open mic.
I mean, everything's got something in my hands, right?
Nah, man. Everything.
Everything's with something in
It's
my
a
hands.
centerpiece. It's a centerpiece about, but nah.
I
In
also
all
enjoy
seriousness,
You don't have a flashback at open mic when you hold a microphone.
I easily do. That's why I'm not holding this mic right now. It's the 4 of us, and I don't want to explode. But nah, in all seriousness, you know, if it's a dream of yours, you know, to continue to make people laugh, and you have enough, like if you grew up making people laugh at the family gatherings, you make your friends laugh.
Try not to bang the table because the mic is
okay. Earthquake.
Yeah.
So you know, you make your friends laugh, and you know it's something that you're passionate about. You want to make people happy. Then fucking, you know, write down some jokes, take some time, and you know, give it a chance. And don't be afraid, because at the end of the day, we're all afraid.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah.
Push past that. And it's fun. At the end of the day, you got peers around you that will help you, that will pick on you. And it's nice.
Yeah, no, that's a good tip, man.
Advice.
You can't let fear get in the way of any of this, because I mean, you're digging deep into your own personal vulnerabilities and insecurities anyway.
Right.
So you can't be afraid to see what people think about your weaknesses, because you're trying to get people to heal on, you're trying to get people to heal from vicariously through your
Exactly.
you know,
It's
imperfections.
Like a movie. It's like the same effect the movie has. You know, that little escape. I just put my head down and I'm afraid of what the comment section is gonna look like when they see that I'm bald. So you know, that's fear in itself. You know,
But that's
Big
a
fucking mystery.
But that's a
huh?
comedic characteristic that works in your advantage.
Yeah,
You know,
helps.
you're not trying to be Denzel. You're trying to be, you know, a funny Samuel L. on the short bus.
On the short bus, Sam is crazy. I kind of like that. That sounds like a good rap name.
Short bus Sam.
Samuel Big L. Jackson.
You may have heard of my
Big L.
Samuel Little L. Short bus Jackson.
Yeah. Samuel L. Train Jackson.
Right
Samuel, I'm gonna
L. Train
L.
from Boston Jackson.
Lick my hair. I don't know what just happened. I was trying to think of my first release for my mixtape. Say what again?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's a good joke. The L Train is a Chicago joke, so that was good. Thank you, I appreciate
I was
that.
just like, what the fuck is the L Train? I was like, he's trying to Luigi train. I've never been to fucking Chicago.
You should go. It's a good comedy town.
I heard.
Yeah.
Go in the summer though.
I mean,
yeah, go in the summer.
Yeah, funny as hell. People from Chicago.
You'll fucking die out there.
Yeah. So Marco Polo.
Marco Luigi, but yeah, Marco Polo.
Okay.
I'm going up in like 3 minutes.
All right,
so
break.
it's been a pleasure. You guys enjoy. I'll talk to you later.
Break a leg.
Thank you so much.
You will be back.
I'll be back.
Thank you for all the guidance you've given us. You're the best.
So, Marco, how long in the tooth are you in the game?
So my good friend here has taught me the word bet. So bet 2.5 months.
Oh, so you
improper use.
Really? So that was good.
You still got
Say less.
Yeah.
Say less.
You still got your umbilical cord attached.
Yeah, I do. But I'm 41 years young. So, and I've been watching comedy my whole life. I love it. He can even attest to it.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to it. I watch it, everything over and over.
Game.
Well, you know, you have a very comfortable comedy persona. So you've got the look and feel and sound that you're comfortable, you know, with the whole like comedy thing.
Yeah, no, I'm super comfortable. I've been in sales for the last 22 years. So,
but see, that helps.
Yeah, it does.
Because you need a good sense of humor to close sales. I was in sales before I got into comedy.
Yeah.
And I got to the point to where I couldn't hit all my accounts. So I started calling and they were pissed. They're like, "You're not coming in?" I'm like, "Well, I can't, you know, there's no time. I can get you next week." I had to break people up in every 2 weeks. And they didn't like that. They were like, "We like you coming in, cracking jokes. You know, we look forward to you coming in and us giving you the order."
Yeah. I've been in sales leadership for the last like 15 years. And, you know, a lot of the youngsters that come in, they ask me, and I feel it's the same thing in comedy, what makes someone successful? And basically I told them it's two things. And what I've seen in sales and I've seen in a lot of things, it's some people that are really successful at things are really, really talented, right? They walk into a room and salespeople, you know, they're good. They sharp dressed, they're suave. They can talk to anyone. And then there's the people that just work really, really hard. Those people are usually different, but talent will come over time if you put effort into it, if you take classes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you educate yourself, you're going to continue to get better. But hard work ain't something you learn.
Right.
Hustle ain't something you learn. That's something that just you can do.
You just do. Yeah.
Someone can't make you want to do it more than someone else. So
right.
Even though I've only been doing this for like 2.5, 3 months, and I do a mic almost every single night. I have a full-time day job. I work from home, luckily, so it makes it easier. I live in North Hollywood, so, you know, I'm sure you're going to plug the Chateau here. So I live right down the street. This shit's easy as hell. No, but there's better things. There's the free mics. I actually took a comedy class here by Steve North. You know, I actually just graduated from it. And you're learning your comedic character in there, which sucked. It was kind of like a therapy session because you have to find out what your flaw is.
Sure.
Which I had a lot. So I had to break down all these flaws. And then I really, really, really got depressed. Because there was so goddamn
that's
many.
part of the process, though. You know, you got to go deep in order to come out. You know,
and that's the thing too. Like everyone's like, why'd you wait so long? It's like I needed way more horrible things to happen to me over my years so I can have more content. So yeah, I've been writing furiously for the last 6 months, and finally grew the balls to jump on a stage 2.5 months, and haven't been able to stop. Very glad that I didn't ever try heroin, because I'd be fully addicted to it right now. Because this is like heroin. It's very addictive.
So did you find, when you eat it in the beginning, you take it seriously, but the more you eat it, the more comfortable you are with knowing that you're just going to eat it sometimes. But then it the juxtaposition of when you get those really good laughs really cancels out the times that you eat it. Have you found that, it's still, even 2 months in, it's still an emotional beatdown when you eat it, or a joke doesn't fly, or have you found a place where this is just work, and it's work, and it's work, you're working on it, and you're trying to fix things. Like, I like what you said about before, like the mics, like people who don't do mics, right? Like, I don't think I'll ever not do mics. Like, I love hearing when like Joey Diaz shows up to, a mic down the street and stuff like that. Like, he pays his $5. Like, I like hearing that, because like, that's something I always feel like I want to do, because the hardest fucking room is a room full of comics. Like, we're miserable pieces of shit. We're either thinking about what we're about to do, or we're just listening to your shit and judging and stuff like that. It's like, it's the hardest room. And if you can get some chuckles, if you can get some laughs there, and then you take those same jokes and you do it in a room full of people who came there to laugh. Right. It's like, I've only had that maybe like 10 or 15 times. It's been like, when you have a room full of people there to joke, there to laugh, it's the best feeling ever. It really is cool. Yeah, it really is. And then Shaq Rowe, what's the largest crowd you ever worked?
Largest crowd I ever worked was 200 people, I believe.
Yeah.
What happened to his fucking voice?
What
happened to Samuel L?
I wanted to crank up. I don't know. I wanted to crank Jake something.
I'm like, where'd he go? So that's a decent crowd. That's an average like comedy club crowd. 200. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm excited to do that one day.
No, you definitely will, bro. Like, if you could grow your nuts.
I have very large nuts. Everything else down there is just.
You gotta let them drop.
So he got 3 nuts.
Got 3 nuts.
When you're really in the game for a while and you start to get some of those gigs where you're doing, auditoriums and coliseums and theaters. It really gets fun, because to hear a large crowd roar, that is a high.
That'd make me.
That is a high.
I keep saying that it makes my penis feel like much larger than it is.
Like, at this point,
you need to keep a rear view mirror in your pocket.
It's still, even at that point, it's still not like,
I'm asexual. I'm just gonna want to fuck myself even more. That'd be crazy. That's a huge turnover for me.
It really is, especially when you kind of isolate on some people too, and they're kind of far away, but you get the roar and you can kind of see the people that respond to it, and it's
like the first time I heard Katy Perry's roar.
What at one of her concerts?
Oh, so fucking warm inside.
Oh my God.
It's like you got in a hot tub. It's so nice and toasty.
It's got real intimate.
Yeah.
Got real intimate.
Listen, baby, you're a firework, all right?
Oh.
How many more you want?
So why do you like the Chateau? What's one of the coolest things about coming down to the Chateau?
Look at this place. This place is so chill. It's like being inside of it. I feel like I'm in Game of Thrones season 8. It's fucking sweet.
It does have that kind of medieval, like we're gonna court gesture. Except we don't get killed if we're not funny.
I was saying, black people weren't around by. but it's all right. We're here now.
Yeah. No, I feel like someone's gonna come out with like a fucking crossbow, come up with the rafters, like.
we're just gonna get raided by Robin Hood, and they're gonna take all our money.
Yeah.
I will rob Robin Hood.
Yeah. Fuck that
I was too
motherfucker.
good for him.
I'll knock him out. We're from the East Coast.
There's no way.
So where can we find you guys on the socials?
Shoot. Well, I'm on everything at Shaq Roll, and it's roll like you rolling like you're rolling down a hill or something with a silent E. You know what I mean? I don't know if I was French or nothing in the past life, but Shaq Roll.
Right
everywhere.
on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm Marco Luigi, not Mario Luigi. It's Marco Luigi comedy everywhere as well.
Nice.
Probably most active on Instagram, and by most active at the age of 41, I might share somebody else's post every 3 days.
Well, I want to thank you guys for stopping by the PodBrother show here at the Comedy Chateau
Thank
podcast.
you so much for taking time off at the Foot Locker.
And you,
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, bro, they gotta be.
I'm gonna get you guys some deals at Foot Locker.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
gonna
you.
get you.
Yep.
I'm gonna get you.
I just want you to give me all the good calls.
I just
If
want.
it's a foul,
I just want
call
my
a foul.
future child that
Don't
you're
tell me that
refereeing
a
in
foul
soccer.
play through it. It's a grown man game. I don't want to hear that. If it's a foul, call a foul. I'm getting my points.
I don't pull punches, man. I call fouls and I let you play.
Well, that's
All right,
offsides.
yeah.
Let's.
I'm
you
not
know,
in the
all-star.
NBA. If it's a foul,
I'll let
it's a
you.
foul.
I'll let you play.
I'm not in the NBA, man. Yeah, don't text me. Don't let them text me. See, I'm flopping. That's new shit. I like it.
Speaking of flopping, look at the mic they gave me. That's because I was. So
You said you got 3 nuts, right? You know what?
3 nuts.
So
Thank
hold
you
up.
so much. It's been a
Hold on,
pleasure.
sit down. We got to do an actual professional out.
Oh, okay. You know
We
what?
just-
You're so right.
Like, hang on to that mic, and then
Okay, go.
then we're gonna do like a professional out.
ADHD is
So
slow.
let's take it again.
Okay.
So I mean, we're live, so
We are
people can
live,
see,
yeah.
but you know,
Cut.
They only see
I
him.
can bring the live down and chop it up the way I want to. So,
Okay.
well, one last time before we exit out of this bad boy, where can we find you on the socials?
You guys can go ahead and find me at Shaq Roll, and that's ROLLE. When you're done, you know what I mean? It's like it's French. I think.
Shaq is SHAQ as well.
Yeah,
We
it's
should probably
like the
spell
big
that.
man. It's like the
Yeah,
big man. That's
okay.
how you know.
Shaq
Everybody
Roll.
knows Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah,
I'm in the shadow of a giant.
nice.
Yeah, but you can also Shack Roll could be like a place that also serves like dinner rolls. Like it's a little shack, like a coffee shack. It could be like Shack SHACK roll ROLL, and then we're getting bread and biscuits and all that good stuff.
We're getting bread and biscuits. I always
Like they have a
ask,
drive-through.
I always
They're open
ask
until
girls.
11, folks. Check out Shack Roll.
check out Shaq. I've always asked girls, you ever tasted a Shaq Roll? You know, it's corny,
And they're
but
like,
it works.
no.
It gets
And
me
they're like,
there.
no.
They think they're gonna get some Japanese sushi.
Some type of sashimi.
They're like,
like
it tastes
sushi.
like unshowered crotch.
Marco, where can we find you, my man, on the World Wide Web, on them
All right.
socials, in
I'm
them social
at
streets?
Marco Luigi Comedy. That's MARCOLUIGI Comedy. All the
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for stopping by the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you
I
so much.
definitely want you to come back and be a regular. Don't put that in there yet because it
Me?
makes too
All
much
right,
noise.
okay.
Hey,
So, we can. When's your next show here? Let's plug your shows. Shaq Row, when are you going to be here again?
I probably won't
How
be
about
doing
hey
anything
Felix,
for like.
get on over here, buddy.
I
Let's get
probably
us
won't be
on.
doing anything for the next 2 months. Honestly, taking some time to just sit
He's
and
in the
write.
writing work.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
There you go.
I need
There you
to
go.
chop down a lot of things I got going on,
That's
just to
cool.
give the people the proper material and delivery. You know what I
Right
mean?
on.
Like
Right
it
on.
needs to be right when I go ahead and give it to them. And I got a lot of things that I want to work on that I've been working on that need to be better.
Nice.
So I'm sitting down for 2 months.
Okay, Marco, when can we see you on stage?
Well, I'm definitely going to be here on Sunday for the mic and the auditions to get on for the next week. But maybe I'll convince the folks here tonight to get me on Sunday night.
Oh, cool.
So what are you doing?
Well, that's right on.
You'll see it on the Instagram.
Right
if I
on.
get Felix, I'm going to get on Sunday night. All right.
Right on.
Thanks, buddy. We're on
All
live.
right.
You got to accept it.
So,
Cool.
wait a second. I have to say, you just can't
I'm
walk.
sorry,
with
I have to
go.
pee. I'm
It's-
sorry, I have to pee so bad. Like,
Okay.
that's the only
All right,
thing.
let me
going
let you
on.
pee.
No, go ahead.
All
I'm
right.
listening. I'm professional.
Shaq, bro.
Get outta here.
Thanks for
Sit down,
coming.
thank you.
Marco, I'm the Pod Brother. This is the Pod Brother
God.
at the Comedy Chateau podcast. And we're going to be coming with you with more comedy, more comedians. We're going to interview some people in the audience. We got Felix Staff, bartender, Irina. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you come back and check us out. But right now, we got Pete.
I gotta go. We do have to urinate. Can I put this down now?
Yes, you can put it down.
Thank
now.
you. So soft. Thanks, man.
That was awesome. Good job. Thank you.